So I picked up another paper packet Tuesday morning. It's always by Authentique, and I thought I would get a few wedding cards done. I don't know what it is. You can go forever and not need any, and then all of a sudden everybody's getting married and you need a ton. So I thought maybe I'd get myself a little prepared this time, have a few extra in the drawer, and see if I could give you a little bit of inspiration with this beautiful paper pack and some of my ideas. One of the things I really love about these paper packs is that they come with the cut-aparts, which are always useful, and that allows me to keep my supplies limited. We do travel, and I tend to do a lot of my card making while we're away. And this paper pack did not disappoint, with the different styles of paper being two-sided and all the unique little spots that they had on the papers. So, of course, the dots and stripes are always so very useful, and there was doubles of all of the sentiments, so I really didn't have to sacrifice one side or the other. And here we go with card number 1. And I've already embossed my white piece of paper here with this embossing folder. And I'm also going to be using the Teresa Collins stamp for my sentiment. And I also picked myself out a cut apart, and I've already pre-accented the bow tie, the buttons, and the sash with glossy accents. And luckily it's dry. And I have a few layering pieces of paper here, just a white regular piece of Nina Solar White, and as well a glittery piece of black cardstock, and I'm going to sandwich those together right now. That's why I'm using my zip dry glue so that it sticks to the glitter, and a little bit of tape runner on my central image. And I'll go ahead and cut a piece of this ivory ribbon, and yes, it is ivory ribbon on a piece of white cardstock. I really like that combination. I think it looks quite good together. And I'm using again my dollar store foam tape, and that is from the houseware section. Cheap, it's $1 a roll in Canada. And I'll get that popped up here. And I'll just double check my placement here with my ribbon to make sure I've got it in the right position. And there's my sentiment already fishtailed on a piece of Nina Solar White Classic Crust. And I stamped that with Versamark black ink. I'll just put a little bit of tape runner on the back of that so that it can stick down. And I'll also put a little bit of tape runner that's just going to be right behind my image to hold the ribbon in place. And using a couple pieces of tape, I'm going to tape that and fold it back. Hopefully you're okay. There's a little bit of background noise. God's animals are enjoying themselves as I sit outside and enjoy this beautiful Canadian sunny spring day. And I'm just going to stick my sentiment down. And I'll curl up the ends of my fishtail just for a little bit of added interest. And I'll add a few of these little gems. Any little gems will do. And honestly, this card, you don't have to use exactly the same embossing folder as me. Anything lacy looking will work. You can use different colors of paper, but just the idea itself is what works. And hopefully I get to inspire you guys a little bit and see how simple it can be, that crafting doesn't need to be complicated. And there's my card. And here we go with card number 2. I've got a rounded rectangle here, and I'm just cutting a window out of my black paper. I will then put it through the Anna Griffin embossing folder to give it some texture. And I have this cut apart here. I'm going to glossy accent the silhouette of the bride and groom. Of course, maybe I should have renamed this video the Authentique wedding card and glossy accent video, but this is a really unique way, at least I find, of highlighting a cut apart and making it look special. This is the Rose Wonder stamp set from Stamping Up, and also the Thinlet that I think goes with that set. I'm just picking out a sentiment that I can stamp and will gold emboss after I've got some Versamark on here. I'll take that and heat set it, and voila, through the action of editing, that happens so quickly. I'm just going to flip over my image here and add some tape runner on it. And I'm putting it on a thicker piece of cardstock just to flatten that out, because the glossy accents did rumple it up a bit, but no worries, it will flatten out. And now I'm going to put a piece of gold glitter tape around the belly of my piece of paper here, and I'm also popping that up with some more of my dollar store tape. And I'm also going to do the sides to make sure that they don't sag in. What I'm going to do now is just fold back part of my tape here so that some of the sticky is exposed, and then that way I can line it up over top of my image and make sure that it's centered without actually sticking it down to the rest of my card base yet. And then I just sneak those out from the side, get all the pieces there. And then I'm adding some tape runner to the back so that it can stick cleanly to the card base. And there we go. I just cut a little piece of foam for my sentiment, and I can get that sentiment set in the middle there. And that's just on a piece of Neenah Solar White paper, as well as the background is Neenah Solar White, a 110 pound. And I've added some gems, and that's card number 2. And here we are with card number 3. I've picked out another cut apart, and I'm going to take an X-Acto knife and just go around the outside edge of these bells. And once they're loose from the piece of paper, I actually took a stylus and gave them some dimension and glued them down to their own piece of cardstock. And what I'm doing is taking some foam tape and filling the gaps that I created with the stylus that actually gave those bells some dimension. I think I'll do a video later on that specifically shows this technique. It's another way of using your cut aparts up. Give that a push to stick it down, and we're on to die cuts. And it's going to be Spellbinder's Fanciful Lattice, the largest die, in pearl pink paper. Or sorry, that's pearl ivory paper. And I'm just adding that image to a glitter piece of cardstock in gold. I've pre-cut a piece of Neenah, and I'm just putting some glue runner on that, and I'll layer that on some pink pearl cardstock, leaving just a teeny tiny edge. And then I'm going to put my image on top of that. And I'll run my tape runner on this piece and put it on a Neenah Solar White Classic Crust 110 pound base. And I'm just going to flip up these edges just for a little extra detail. Just adds to the look of the card. Makes it a little bit frilly. And that piece will fit in nicely there. Then I'm going to get some foam tape, and I'll just pop that right up. Get it into place here. I don't know why layers always seem to add so much to a card. I love adding layers. Anyways, this is from Crafter's Companion. It just was a flower and some leaves, and I'm only using the leaves from this, and punch that out of the gold glitter cardstock. Just putting a little bit of glossy accents here, and I'm just going to glue that up around the base of the frame for the image. And glue down the other one. And then I've got some flowers that I handmade there, and I'll do another video at some point in time showing how I make those flowers. They're so easy. And it's so nice to put them on a card, and that way you can have them always matching with everything. And then I've got a couple more leaf flourishes. Just gonna stick in, double that up and make it a little bit fuller. And now I've added the 2 little flowers that are made out of the pink pearl cardstock, and that's that card. Here's card number 4. So I've got this cut apart here and some funky crinkle paper that I got at Michael's. I also noticed in my stash that I have a frame with the rounded corners that is just the right size to allow that to be covered. And I didn't say it before, but all my cards are 5x7. And especially with wedding cards, I think it's nicer to make something a little bit bigger than note card sized. So I have this frame. The frame part's the part that I want. And I have my 5x7 Nina 110 pound base here. And I'm just gonna get this all situated in place with my glue runner. Fold in the little tabs there, get it centered. This is a pretty simple card too. Like, I mean, this is, if you had to make a card on the run, this would be the guy to make. So anyways, I'm cutting out some foam tape, but I need to make it more narrow. And of course I'm struggling with this because I haven't made the realization yet that if I put a piece of backer paper on the pieces that I'm trying to cut, they won't stick so badly to the scissors. So if you've had this happen to you, you're going to learn the same lesson that I have, and I don't make this mistake anymore. Well, I try not to make it. Sometimes if I'm cutting a little bit, I do it quickly. There I am adding those pieces from an earlier card to the back of the 2-sided tape. And watch this. How much easier is that to cut? It's like a miracle, seriously. So, and why I didn't think of it, I don't know. But these little scissors are supposed to be no stick, but they're not so no stick that they can cut right into the tape. So, of course, you've seen this trick many times. Okay, sorry, my neighbor was mowing his lawn, and I guess everybody wants to enjoy the beautiful day today. So now I've got this stuck down in place, and I'm just gonna pull the little tabs out from the side here. Don't worry, I didn't break that one. I actually had it in 2 pieces. But this way you can stick it down, and it's not catching the entire paper until you're ready to, because with these sides being so thin, it's easy to make a mistake and have them go crooked. So there's my zip dry glue and a little piece of twine that we took off of, I think napkins or something like that. I tend to save every little bit that I can. So the zip dry is great. It dries literally that quickly. And I'm gonna just put on some of those handmade flowers as well. That was a double bow. And with the 3 flowers, I'm gonna squish the sides in to make sure that the bow has some volume. And with that zip dry glue, it stinks like the dickens, but boy, is it good glue. Well, maybe it doesn't stink that bad. It's a little chemically smelling though. So get these all tucked in here. And I think this suits a lot of the wedding styles, because I see so many of those cut wooden pieces at weddings, wooden center pieces and, you know, things like that. But anyways, here's some rhinestones, and I hope you enjoyed my cards and my card making, and hope you will subscribe and give me a thumbs up or even a comment, any advice you have on how I can improve or things that you like. But thank you very much for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.